What is going on, guys? Twitchy Tango here, and I wanted to do this video. We're not just going to talk about, this. We're going to talk about a few other things that I'm very eager and excited to see in the remake. Uh, but let's start off with this and then segue into the wonderful other things we are talking about tonight. Or today, whenever this gets uploaded. Let's be honest, it'll get uploaded when it gets uploaded. But Resident Evil 4 Remake is about the same length as as original, says Capcom. So you mean those 4chan leaks are actually, worth a grain of salt? You don't say. That's what I always say. That's why I don't really cover leaks. I covered the Resident Evil 9 leaks because that just seems so silly and absurd. When there's no mention from Capcom that they're even working on it right now, which is why I covered it. But this right here is my swag. A kid. I don't have swag. I'm a 29-year-old man who just vibes. In an interview with PC Gamer on Tuesday, Resident Evil 4 Remake producer, I am about to butcher this and I'm sorry, Yoshiaki Hira. I'm not even going to try because that's quite awful and I'm not about to disrespect the man who's bringing this to our face holes. Said that players can expect the uh, the length of the remake to run about the what? About the what? Same as the original RE4, which Capcom remade when Capcom remade Resident Evil 2 in 2019, it was met with universal acclaim, but the 2020 follow-up, Resident Evil 3, was not such a hit. Never mind the fact that Resident Evil 3 was originally going to release with Resident Evil 2, which kind of would have made sense. And what we got was a game probably worth 30, if I'm being honest. Many players complained about how short and linear it was compared to the RE2 remake, pointing out that it even cut areas from the PS1 game. People are still wanting a Resident Evil 3 Nemesis Edition. Let sleeping dogs lie, y'all. With a game as blood as Resident Evil 2, Capcom succeeded in recreating it without screwing anything up. With RE3, it seemed to have missed an opportunity to improve and bulk out what was always a bit of an underbaked game. 2004's Resident Evil 4, meanwhile, is a long game by modern action standards. How Long to Beat has a main story pegged at about 15 and a half hours. So, again, for a Resident Evil title, that's kind of absurdly long. I think Resident Evil Village on a, casual run is like 7 or 8, not even really comparatively to Resident Evil 4, which I think is literally the longest game to date. Though I think Resident Evil 6 could be just as long. Uh, but pegged at 15 and a half hours, roughly double the length of the RE2 remake campaign. Would this remake 2 be lopping off some chunks of the game to make the project more manageable? I asked. I'm not even again. I'm not trying to disrespect them because I cannot pronounce anything for crap. I had a Alabama education, so take that as what you will. If the reviews and players' feedback for Capcom's last 2 remakes had informed any decisions for Resident Evil 4 Remake, and he specifically brought up length as a factor. When we started production on 4, we looked into what people thought was good in the RE2 and RE3 remakes and what could have been done better. He said, one example is the playtime for RE4 is about the same as the original game. Statement still leaves us with a lot of unknowns. There could be significant changes to some of RE4's environments, even if the overall length remains roughly the same. Remake may be jettisoning the Mercenaries minigame with a separate ways mode that you let you play as long at the finishing campaign. But based on how closely the game's intro sticks to original, I think Capcom is treating this with particular reverence. Okay, so it's almost like those 4chan leaks weren't legit. And apparently, some French YouTuber, I don't know if I wouldn't believe it, said that there was a Krauser model. Apparently, he played the game. Again, I do not listen to hearsay and rumors on a YouTube comment because, you know. But hey, listen, if the producer of Resident Evil 4 Remake is like, you know what, it's about the same. So you're looking at a campaign of about 15 and a half hours. So uh, who knows what that means? I have a feeling they are playing this very close to the chest and not showing everything all at once. I have a feeling maybe a month or maybe in a few weeks before the release of Resident Evil 4 Remake, we're going to get to see mercenaries in RE4 Remake. We're going to get to see an updated Wesker. Rouser. You know, keep the ball rolling, folks. But let's dive into the juicier stuff of this video, shall we? Look at him. Look at Dr. Salvador. I can only hope Super Salvador is also going to be in the game, because if not, I'm going to be highly disappointed. But one thing I do want to note, do have of note in the game, is something that has absolutely caught my eye and could mean something very fun and interesting going forward. You know what I'm saying? Something that can be really good going forward is this. Do you see that? That is a durable knife, which judging, of course, from Remake 2, that was had a durable knife, but you could unlock a knife that was infinite and wouldn't break, similar to most Resident Evil games. Resident Evil 3 Remake uh, had the knife that was durable, but yes, they're like, well, maybe we should just tag this on, so people don't complain. So I see a few people gritting their teeth, and I'm just like, chill, young man. We're clearly gonna be able to unlock the knife we all know and love from Resident Evil 4 remake. But just look at that. Look at that design. It's almost like a cross between the beta version and the one we got in Resident Evil 4 completely. But I really want to talk about that durable knife because it really sets up with a certain friend, a certain comrade. Okay, the whole point I'm trying to make about the knife durability is that this moment right here is going to get a lot more intense. I think we're not going to have a completely unbreakable knife for this moment with Crowley happened. I feel like there's a lot of emphasis on the parrying. So one would make the assumption that this is going to be a big part of this interaction with Krauser, which is obviously the most tedious, annoying thing ever. I'll be honest with you, I don't mind Resident Evil 6 QTEs over this. I will say it's very flashy, and it pretty much shows how to deal with Krauser. But it's just so pain inducing. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Pain inducing. But it's badass. Krauser looks great, so I really can't say anything to that extent. But this right here is what's really I'm laying into is the need to upgrade it. So we're upgrading everything. It's not I don't like how the upgrading system looks. Again, I'm a sucker for nostalgia, but I think it works. Uh, and also, if you look up in the top corner of it, Petas and I guess Silver. So, or not Petas, but the spinals are going to be treasure that we turn in for stuff. So that's pretty neat and interesting regardless. But having to upgrade our NOS durability is going to mean something when we get to the point where we have to do the knife off with Krauser. So I'm honestly liking that because we're going to have to actually upgrade our knife. There's a reason for this. And clearly I was not fast enough and I died like a scrub casual. But yeah, man, I really like what they're taking with the upgrading system, especially having to upgrade your knife. We're gonna get to unlock a knife that doesn't break, similar to RE2 remake. So don't get the pitchforks just yet. I think everything I see about this game, like they care, they absolutely care, and that's what we talked about at the beginning of the video. But I generally want to hear what you guys think on the new knife, the pairing system, things like that. It didn't really show up a lot. I just really want to focus on like the fact that it's got durability to it, and this sequence right here is going to be absolutely bonkers. But let me know what you guys think about the durability, and we'll hop into the next thing I want to discuss. There is a lot going on in this picture. Where do we begin? You can craft ammo. I'm assuming that's all ammo. I'm sure something like Magnum rounds is going to cost an arm and a leg, but by God, you'll be able to craft it. We got the usual suspects mixing the herbs: green, red, green, yellow, green, red. Oh, well, we can do red, yellow now, so that's pretty fascinating stuff. Uh, there's a lot really just to take in. One thing I will notice is the case and Charles perk. So I don't know what that it means. I guess it has a lot to do with it'll increase drop rates for ammo and the like thereof. Might even increase drop rate for herbs. I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, there's really a lot going on this page. So we know Resident Evil and Capcom in general of their crafting. They've been doing crafting since I think RE2 remake. They've really done crafting, but only with herbs for the longest time. And Resident Evil 3 original had a crafting system, so it goes back all the way to Resident Evil 3 original. So it makes sense that they would improve on what came before, like RE2 remake, RE3 remake, and amplifying it. So honestly, I dig what's going on. Look at that Red Eagle, guys. Look how good it looks, man. Like everything that's going on with this is just so good. I cannot wait to play this game. I'm so freaking excited for it. But that's really I just wanted to talk about. Just look at that. Look at the crafting screen. Look how good it looks, man. I can't wait to see what else is in store. And let's move on to the next one. I gotta say, I very much like the unhinged look of the Ganados. I've been a big preacher of this for a while. That the Ganados really need to act different. They need to feel like a threat. And by God, look at that ammo, or not even ammo, health drainage on your starting Leon. Like, good lord, that's insane. And I honestly freaking dig it, dude. Like, even the introduction of what looks like stealth mechanics is pretty fly. Like, everything about this just feels good, guys. And I'm not one to say that I was very hesitant about it because I'm always for more Resident Evil 4, but everything about this game looks like it's gonna be super good. Uh, the Ganados are the bread and butter of the game. Those are the enemies you face, not the special enemies that we've seen the El Gigante looking pretty fly. Anakin is Bay. But the entire village segment is like straight up almost a one for one copy of Resident Evil 4. Just look how these Ganados act and react to Leon. It's just so satisfying to watch, and I particularly like this. Look at this kit, man. So we're getting our stuff back. I can only hope once we get to the castle, we get to do suplexes, baby. Because what's a Resident Evil game without suplex? I need the suplex edition. But how the Ganados react is, I don't know, it's just pretty satisfying to see. You know, the director even said they gave them new things. While it can feel familiar, but these Ganados, dude, look how visceral and real they look. They all look different, unique. Dr. Salvador, uh, if you look at his face, many people thought that was just his eyes, but apparently more clarity is that's actually his skull was fractured and the plaga is already out and the head just keeps it intact. So there's a lot of just look at this game. I think that's probably one of my favorite things about it is how the Ganados look, and everything looks like a one for one creation. I'm all for it. And yeah, guys, it's exciting stuff. But listen, those Ganados got hands, and I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna show them my hands. I just like how they look. Like a Ganado, it does the Super Salvador. He does the Super Salvador thing. He gears up, winds up, like he starts running towards a Ganado that's got you and wants to ram it through your chest. So that's pretty solid, and I kind of absolutely dig it. So yeah, I think that's the one thing I love about the Ganados now. They feel more fearsome. They feel more terrifying. The fact that if a Ganado's got you in the grass, Dr. Salvador will absolutely come at you. And I like the brutality of finishing off Ganado. And I think whatever they're doing with this game is just truly something extraordinary. And I honestly want to hear what you guys think about the Ganados. How do you think they look now? But we're gonna finish this video up with just my final thoughts on the things I noticed and the things I'm really looking forward to with this remake. So, this is the end of the video. I'm actually going to be talking about a lot of other things. in my protagonist video. I may even go back and edit a few things about certain characters. I don't know for my antagonist video, but yeah, man, I'm super excited for this remake. It just compared to Wednesday and Thursday's reveals, I'm thinking Capcom knows what they're doing. I'm very excited. I think a lot of people are very excited and very hopeful for this game. I know I am. I'm like, look at Luis though. Look at that total sleazebag, and I'm gonna really mention that in my next video that I'm working on after these next two. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm thrilled. Let me hear what you guys think. Are you looking forward to this remake now that we've seen more of it? How do you feel about certain aspects of it? Not just what we talked about in today's video. Let me know how you feel about it. What do you think about the character models? I know a lot of people are really iffy about Ada Wong's voice. Apparently, they've casted someone as a that's actually Asian, which is actually kind of good because Ada, I think, except for like Resident Evil 2 original, has been voiced by a white woman, which teach his own. It's great. I just don't feel anything from it because it just doesn't feel good. Bakba Soup made a good joke that it's just Eleanor from the Mighty Boosh. I'll put that on the screen to give you an idea of what we're talking about. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I want to hear what you guys think. Let me know what you think about it. You excited? Not? Would you rather Capcom just stop? And that's the end of the video. I love you all. I'll see you all on the next one. Take it easy.